Hello, my name is Rosa Addis, and I will be presenting an overall presentation on my portfolio for EDRM 723 Fall 2017 Classroom Assessment Methods. The areas I will cover will be my theme, which is ethics, the 3 artifacts chosen for my portfolio, and a summary of synthesis of my portfolio. From our test book, Assessment is Essential by Green and Johnson 2010, ethical practices benefit and enhance student learning and avoid harmful effects. They promote well-being and they are based on basic beliefs about right and wrong. I chose the topic of ethics because of all the different areas where we might encounter ethical decisions on a daily basis. The first artifact in my portfolio is Task 2 of our course. The task was to develop a performance assessment and rubric using an alignment planning table. With this task, I had to pinpoint specific indicators and reflect on the different metacognitive levels. I realized that with this task, I was less subjective by using the analytical rubric. The performance task was an interpersonal IPA, which is an integrated performance assessment, where the students were given a scenario and they had to perform a conversation. The students had to speak to their classmates about chores, home, and family. They were required to ask at least 3 questions and respond to their classmates' 3 questions. Speech, pronunciation, correct sentence structure, fluency, understanding, and being understood were the areas of evaluation. With the use of an analytical rubric, I was able to evaluate their mastery with detail. Keeping in mind, each indicator allowed for more accurate evaluation. And by assigning specific weights to the indicators, I was able to measure the desired skills without taking away from other important aspects of the assessment. This was an actual assessment in their course. The chart shows the result of my students. One of the things I find myself doing is being more strict in my evaluation to Spanish-speaking students, mainly because I expect excellence from them. With the analytical rubric, I was equal to all and avoided score pollution. The second artifact I chose was the article, A Model for Making Decisions About Ethical Dilemmas in Student Assessment. One of the details I found most interesting were the specific scenarios the author used in their research. The scenario that stood out the most was Scenario 2. The scenario states that it shows students who cheat and are given a 0. I have trouble with this particular situation because of the use of translator in my Spanish assessments. Students are warned that the use of translators are equivalent to cheating. For formative assessments, they receive a reduced score, whereas for summative assessments, they will complete the task in class. I must always remember to follow 2 basic principles: do no harm and avoid score pollution. The third artifact was to select at least 2 peer quotes and reflect on them. I chose 3 different quotes. The first one was, I will share that it is difficult for me to present the competing stakeholders' perspective that homework should be used for grading purposes. I know there is some controversy with homework. I personally assign homework on a daily basis. My idea is that in a foreign language setting, students do not use the target language outside of the classroom. However, homework does allow for this. Assignments are brief and reinforce skills. The weight is not tremendously significant, where it will impact their grade if it is not completed. The second quote, the philosophy in my department for AP and honors level classes is sink or swim, to some degree. When these students are obviously not applying themselves, they deal with the consequence. I agree with consequences in these courses. Students are in the course because they are capable. They need to understand the workload that comes with the course. In the final chosen quote, the teacher found herself in a complicated situation when the principal from her school asked her to change student scores on the test in order for the school to keep its high rating. There were many stakeholders that were involved in this scenario. The teacher had an ethical dilemma where she had to choose to keep her job and make unethical changes, or potentially lose her job and cause the school to lose its high rating because of the low test scores. I believe that it's not only unethical but immoral and should be taken to higher consequences. I have seen this and have witnessed employees leaving their jobs because of this. It is wrong in every way. As final thoughts, I would like to point out that ethics is such a broad topic in education. Every decision we make can have some sort of ethical connotation. It is difficult to be completely objective in any decision we make, especially with the pressure we face on a daily basis. We must always remember to follow the two basic principles: do no harm and avoid score pollution. Thank you for viewing my presentation. Have a great day.